we're not talking tonight. Nope, we're not going to take any opinions tonight. Are you kidding me? This is the 4th or 5th meeting, and nobody will give an answer to the questions the residents have. And as far as the meeting from November 25th, let's be honest, there's a couple commissioners on this board that have been on the committees, and they should recuse themselves from the actual vote to put the library on this building. They are not impartial for all the residents of this township. And don't sit here and say your ball fields are not going to be affected. Give the honest facts for these things. You cannot expect the kids of this township to go sit in a library. They need the ball fields. We don't have enough fields. So let's give honest answers to the residents, and let's just stop sitting at every forum and saying, oh, we're only going to take personal comment because we're not going to give an answer. Because you know why? You don't have all the answers, you don't have all the facts, and you don't have all the information, and it's unfair to take a vote on March 10th. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Joe Rastetter, 1258 Manor Road. I'm not sure I'm going to top that one there. So, I've just got a couple quick comments. My concern, as someone who lives, near this proposed site, is the ability of the police department to respond in an effective manner. If the library is built back behind the stadium, I just have a feeling that when the police need to get out of there, to go to an emergency with all of the congestion that's back there, that they might not be able to do that. My other thought was the role of a library today. I mean, I have been in there a few times. I can't say that I'm a library expert, and I never was a librarian. But the idea of when I do go in there, I see a lot of people sitting around computers. I hear from this meeting here about conference room and space, is that keeping the library where it currently is, and then just looking to see, is there facilities that can maybe take some of these, set up a computer lab somewhere create a community center, somewhere. Now whether the CREC is really that space or not, that's not for me to decide. I'm just throwing the idea out. I've been hearing the debate about the Lanark School. There's another suggestion. Annunciation School is wide open as well. These are places that are open. The Brookline School is probably still, might have some availability. I'm not sure what the lease is there with the seniors. But I'm just kind of throwing some ideas out that you could create some off-site spaces where people could meet that may be meeting at the library now. And I know the library also does a lot of, you can order your book online, and come pick it up. Well, you could set it up where, hey, I want to get a book at the library. Maybe let me go to the alternate site and I'll get it picked up there because there's all this interlibrary loan. So just throwing that out. And then the only question, and maybe I'll come back next week or whatever the next meeting is when you guys are taking questions, is the idea of the bank building. I'm actually in sales, and I know the idea of sales is, get some competition before you make a sale. So the story I'm heard, and I could be wrong, is that the library inquired about the bank building and was told it was a lease, and then a couple months later, someone sold it to the orthodontist. If I'm selling the property, I'm selling it to the big cheese on the block, and I could probably hold the township up for a couple extra $100,000 because I know they really need it. Now, why it would get sold to the orthodontist and how the library, I don't know who handled that, and I guess that's where my question is who was responsible for those negotiations, and where did it not get acquired? Because if that's acquired, then we're probably not having this discussion, because they would have the parking, and we could just renovate the library, and everybody would probably be, I'm sure everybody wouldn't be happy, but we'd be happier than we are now. So that's just my comments, and thank you guys for all your hard work.
Thank you very much. Did you sign in?
Joe did.
Okay, you did? Okay, thank you.
Ooh. Hi, my name is Carol Maniscalco. I've been a Haverford Township resident for 30 years. I've raised 2 children in Haverford Township, and both of those children went from Oakmont to the middle school to the high school, and I love Haverford Township. I'm going to tell you that I also love Haverford Township Library, and this is not a joke. I'm probably at the library twice a week, and I say to my husband on a regular basis, I love my library. I love my library. I can't tell you how much I love my library. I love the fact that it is located near the schools. I love the fact that children who are teenagers, and I was Girl Scout leader in the district, kids can come out of the schools, go to the library, and not just study, not just do research, but also be a community. I know when my daughter was in high school, there was a knitting club that met after school in the library. It was a draw for the children. If you're a Girl Scout leader, if you're a parent, if you're involved with the school and the children, you have to recognize the importance of the library's location and what it offers to the students in the township. It is critical, I think personally, that the library stay where it is. I understand the parking is an issue. Believe me, when you go to the library twice a week, you know parking is an issue. There are 17 spots. There are also spots outside the neighborhood. You know, you can park on Darby Road, you can park at the school. Yes, there is walking involved, and that is something that should be considered when you're renovating the library. But if you move the library to the township where it is, where you're discussing, you're taking it that much further away from the children, and the children are critical to the township. The education of the children, the ability for them to be able to use this resource is very critical. I also would share something with you that I only discovered recently. I can honestly tell you that where the stadium is, I rarely ever go there. My kids have been there for skating, but I'm not a skater and I don't go. I really haven't had much reason to go to the police station, and only recently my husband and I decided one Saturday morning, we thought, you know what, we'll go to the Stadium Diner for breakfast, just because we like to, you know, visit the different businesses in the area. So that, what the heck, we'll try out the Stadium Diner. So we went on a Saturday morning. The cars are unloading with the kids, with the hockey and the sticks. The parking is tight, and it's just a Saturday morning. I mean, Saturday morning is a great time to get to the library. So I have a concern just on that exposure, that if parking is an issue where the library is, I experienced parking was an issue without the library on a Saturday morning when all I wanted to do was go to the diner and get breakfast. So that to me is a concern. Yes, there are a lot more lots, but there's a lot more activity going on in that area as well. I have not been involved in the design discussions, and I honestly feel like I'm probably not the person that should be the last person speaking here, because I'm not going to sit here with numbers. I'm not going to sit here with an analysis. I don't even have a really good picture of what it is you're planning. All I've got is heart. And I'm going to tell you that my heart says it should stay where it is. I also will share with you something I heard on the radio the other day, which I thought was fascinating and sort of scary. I heard one of those impossible questions. And the question was, what have 90% of the people in the last 10 years not done? And the answer was, go to the library. That blew me away. I had no idea that that was actually a statistic that was real. And again, it was a radio station, so how real is it? I don't know, but it fascinated me. The library is an awesome place. I love my library. I love to go out to Amazon.com and find the latest releases. I love to order those books from the library online. I get an email that says it's in. I run over to the library, I park my car, I run in, I pick up my book, and I go out. I use ebooks, and they're awesome. The library is an awesome place. It should be available to our children. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Is everybody who's wanted to speak spoken?
Nope.
Stacy? Did you sign in? Yep.
Thanks, Steve.
I prepared something. I apologize, I didn't know the right, what the venue is going to be like this evening, so I only have 3 copies, so you'll have
It's
it
okay.
there. But I will read it to you, so.
Stacy, can you email it to us too, or?
Yes, I'd be happy to.
That'd be another way to do it. Thanks. The library's out of town.
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
Good evening, Honorable Commissioners. My name is Stacy Maddox, and I'm the Chair of the Haverford Township Historical Commission, and also a lifetime resident of the township. I am here this evening to share my comments regarding the library. I first wanted to share some history. In 1933, township residents, civic and political leaders met to discuss the establishment of the first public library within the township. It was stressed at that time that the library was to be centrally located. Space was rented at 1627 Darby Road, but was quickly outgrown. The Haverford Township Title and Trust Company building, abandoned during the Great Depression, was purchased in 1937 by H. Gates Lloyd Jr., who built Linden, which is now known as the Quadrangle, and donated this building to the township to be used as a library in memory of his father, Horatio Gates Lloyd Sr. Mr. Lloyd Sr., a prominent Philadelphia banker and financier, in addition to township commissioner and treasurer, built All Gates, which is on the National Register. The Haverford Township Free Library has remained at this location at the corner of Darby and Mill Roads for over 75 years, and because of its rich history, it is a historic resource within our township. I do support revisions to the existing library. Parking can be a challenge, and it would seem that updating would be welcomed for the interior space. However, in the spirit of the library's original vision, it remains centrally located within the township and within close walking distance for both the middle and high school students who utilize it on a daily basis. My family and I moved recently, and the fact that the library was within walking distance of the schools was a factor in our decision regarding our new neighborhood. I am concerned that the number of students who now solicit the library on a regular basis because of its close proximity to their school will decrease significantly if it is relocated. I am also concerned regarding the proposed location for a new library, with so many school children and various safety concerns being within close proximity of the police station. There is also the concern regarding cost with regard to future tax increases, as many township residents are on a limited budget and the economy continues to struggle. I wanted to ask the Board of Commissioners if alternate parking considerations for the library in its existing location have been explored. For example, the former Mellon Bank at 1635 Darby Road, which I understand we did discuss this evening, which has been vacant for some time, would seem a viable possibility. The parking lot for this property is adjacent to the library in the rear. Lastly, if the decision is made to move the library, what are the township's plans for adaptive reuse of the existing building, which is a historic resource in our township? I did also want to add, in light of what some residents were saying this evening, that the library is in an ideal location for a community gathering place, which is the essence of what the library has evolved into. So thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Thank you very much. Anyone else would like to speak? There being no one else, we will be discussing the resolution 1925-2014 at the next Commissioners' meeting. That resolution is not to spend any money. It is to consider both whether to keep the library at its own location or to pursue looking at it at the new municipal services area which we are discussing. The time for that discussion is when the resolution comes up. That is when we have discussion. I'm not saying that a decision is going to be made this evening, that evening. It may be tabled. We may need more information, but this is how the process works. Okay? We are taking public input at that meeting, and we'll be answering questions. We'll be asking questions of the commissioners. We'll have discussion. So I want to thank you all for coming tonight, and we will have answers to all your questions at that meeting on the 10th. Yes, the resolution 1925-2014 is on our website.
No, we'll be on it tomorrow morning.
It'll be on tomorrow morning. So you'll be able to view the resolution, and it will be discussed at the meeting. Just because a resolution comes up does not mean that we vote on it at that meeting. I don't want anybody to be disappointed. There will be a lot of discussion, and it'll be a long meeting. So thank you very much for coming out tonight, and I will entertain a motion for...
So moved.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.